Are you ready to dive into the twisted world of Ash Williams and his Deadite adversaries? As a fan of the Evil Dead franchise, I'm excited to take you on a journey through the series' intricate timeline. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button for more horror content. The Evil Dead series has been a roller coaster ride of horror and comedy, with each installment keeping me on the edge of my seat, from the original gruesome conflict in the cabin in the woods to the recent urban haunting in Evil Dead Rise. The franchise has managed to keep me hooked. Um, it's the chronology of the series requires some explanation, but don't worry, got you covered. The series includes 5 films and a 3-season television series, all confirmed to share a common universe. At the heart of the series lies the Necronomicon, a doomed book of the dead that summons horrors into existence. By maintaining these common themes across films and TV adaptations, creators can delve into diverse settings and characters. Here's a guide to watching all of the Evil Dead series in chronological order. The Evil Dead movies in release order. The intricate storyline of the Evil Dead has been crafted over several decades since its inception in 1981. Despite its modest budget, it quickly became a sensation. The Evil Dead franchise timeline explains the Evil Dead series spans centuries, with the persistent adversaries being the Deadites, an assortment of undead entities that invade the living, feeding on their souls. In the series, many stories occurred during the same year they were initially released. The time difference between the Army of Darkness and Ash versus the Evil Dead mirrors the real world passage of 3 decades between those productions. 1300 AD, Army of Darkness. Watching the Evil Dead movies in sequence can be challenging, particularly due to the unique and extreme strangeness found in Army of Darkness. The 3rd film in the Evil Dead series, Army of Darkness, marks the beginning of the timeline's chronology, and Evil Dead. I mean, that's Evil Dead 2. The timeline of the Evil Dead series got complicated long before Army of Darkness. Unfortunately, Raimi didn't manage to regain the rights for a sequel to Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead. Consequently, Evil Dead 2 was produced as a sort of hybrid film requel, reimagining the events of the first movie with new cast members while also expanding the storyline. 1982, the ending of Army of Darkness. In the course of events, there arises an unusual circumstance. Ash, in the same period, exists twice due to a potion that causes him to slumber for 6 centuries before returning to his original time. And 2013 Evil Dead remake. In the Evil Dead timeline, Fede Alvarez's version of Evil Dead is recognized as being consistent with the original storyline set in a contemporary context. I would not do that to my personal viewer, as my community. The TV show Ash versus Evil Dead unfolds around 30 years after the original Evil Dead films, and it spans a limited time frame. After 3 decades of ordinary life as a stock boy at Value Stop, Ash Williams finds himself once again in the midst of supernatural perils also at the movie, and often game month two in place in Water Soon that we're talking about too. So, in contrast to the previous films, Evil Dead Rise is less centered around Ash and instead focuses on a new character named Beth who battles against her possessed sister, Ellie, to safeguard her nephew and nieces. Um, and that's a wrap, folks. And the Evil Dead series is a wild ride. And I hope this guide has helped you navigate its intricate timeline. On a lighter note, why did Ash bring a ladder to the party? Uh, because he heard the drinks around the house. Um, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.